pleased to be joined by longtime PSE head men's basketball coach Mike Manderino. Coach, thank you for being here on our season preview, 2023-24 season preview here today.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
Absolutely, of course. First time ever appearing on the Coach's Corner, so this is historic. Sure it is. Yeah, this is going to be Emmy winning for sure. Basically, to start off, you've got a brand new team. You had a veteran team last year. It was a solid team, good team. Pretty much retooling the entire roster. Have basically two quasi players coming back, guys that were practice players last year, Deion Alexander and Amari Brogman. And just talk about the guys that you brought in and just kind of this new look roster.
Yeah, it's all brand new. Amari's coming back as a redshirt, and Deion also. We got a European flavor. We've got a young man from Spain, Juan Rodriguez, and an Englishman, Joe Sharon, a little point guard from Canada, and I think they're going to be key to what we do this year. They've shown a lot of promise already, and then we have a local kid, Antonio Phillips, who's a really fine player, about 6'3", 6'4". He can shoot it, drive it, rebound, and he's going to be a key for us as well. So, like you said, it's a brand new roster, and we've done well in the scrimmages we played so far. We show some promise, but I mean, this year's going to depend on how hard we work. We're not going to go out there and out-talent people, and we're a little bit undersized, so we're going to have to be a scrappy group if we're going to be successful.
You talked a little bit about the international guys coming in, Isaiah, Joel, Juan. You went that route originally a few years ago. You had guys like Morgan Rashad, Christian Barbieri, who were really good players here and kind of set the tone for that international approach. Just what are your feelings on that, and just how well that's worked?
Yeah, I mean, we hadn't done that in my first 15 years here, and during the COVID years, I wasn't getting out that much, seeing local kids, and I was getting a lot of emails, and a lot of them were from foreign students. And the first one I reached out to was Chris Barbieri, and we emailed back and forth, and then eventually talked, and he had a budget where he could come here and take care of his own living expenses, and we gave him a scholarship. And after him, we got Morgan, and then those two fellows really worked out well. They were great kids, good players, solid students. So this year we continue the trend, and hopefully it'll work out again.
For sure. Now, not only is the roster being retooled this year, but your coaching staff is being retooled a little bit this year as well. But you're keeping it in the same family, so to speak. Mike Flaherty, a legendary coach like yourself, hung it up after last year, and now his son Brian is working with you. I don't know much about Brian in terms of his coaching, but I know that he and his father have identical voices, and very hard to tell which one of them is actually in the gym. But talk a little bit about Brian.
Yeah, he's a godsend. He's a great coach. He's been in a number of places. He has really a lot of experience. And the last place he was at, Lincoln Way West, he took a team to the state championship game. So we're really blessed to have him. And the kids think a lot of them have a lot of respect for him. So he's a big plus for our program this year, for sure.
Now, staples of your teams for going all the way back, I'm sure, back to the 80s with Mendel and all that, it's always been defense. You've always been a defensive guy. You talked a little bit earlier about how we're not going to out-talent people. How much more is that defensive presence going to be important?
Yeah, especially this year. Defense and defensive pressure. We're going to have to create some offense with our defense. We're going to have to make teams uncomfortable, whether it's man-to-man or in trapping zone. But that's going to be a key for us to be solid defensively, and even beyond just being solid, being able to pressure teams and make them uncomfortable is going to be an important factor for us this year.
Of all the players that you mentioned so far, is there anybody in there that might surprise people? There's the guys, obviously the international guys that come with some well-known talent and things like that. But is there somebody that might be maybe towards the lower end of the roster right now, who maybe by the end of the year might?
Well, not at the lower end of the roster, but Deion Alexander's been around for a while. He played for one half a season, then had some academic issues, and he's fought his way back academically. And now he's one of our lead players, and he's just a quality player. I mean, he's a slight little guy, but he makes plays at both ends. He can score, you know, he can finish at the basket for his size. He's a solid defender, a good passer, you know, and he's been a pleasant surprise this year. He's playing even better than what I thought he could do, so we're looking forward to a great season from him.
Now, season opens up Saturday here at home. What are some early season goals for you guys? Some of the things that you'd like to see, particularly maybe in the non-conference portion of the schedule before we get into the Skyway?
Yeah, I mean, I've told the kids that, you know, what I'm looking for at the start of the season is that we're developing a culture about the way, you know, we go about things. You know, when we step on the floor, I want it to be obvious to everybody that we're the hardest playing team on the floor. I mean, we're playing right at the start of the season. We got Sauk Valley, Bryan Stratton, you know, South Suburban, Rock Valley, really quality teams. And if we're going to compete, we got to be just basically the hardest working team on the floor. So above everything else, I'm looking that we were developing that type of culture. So when we start the conference schedule, you know, that's just ingrained in us. When we go on the floor, we're going to work harder than the other guys.
What are your overall goals for this year in terms of what you'd like to see?
Well, you know, when we go into the season, we're always thinking that we're going to be good enough to compete for a conference championship and make a run to the national tournament. So that's no different from any other year. You know, we want to set our goals high. But we're going to take it step by step. You know, like I said before, make sure we're working hard, make sure we're doing things right, and then, you know, build. You know, I think it's key for any successful basketball team to be getting better and better and better day by day by day. And I'm talking about even in the second semester, January, February, you know, teams that do well at the end of the year are teams that continue to improve. They don't get satisfied with where they're at. And hopefully that's the direction we're going to take.
Okay, final question of the day, most important. After a nice long summer and all that, what's your golf game? Where's it sitting right now?
Well, this year I had my best golf season ever. I got my handicap down to scratch.
Nice.
For 2 years,
Okay.
2 years,
Excellent.
weeks I was a scratch golfer.
Nice.
But I finished the season as a 2 handicap at Deer Creek. So looking forward to some late season golf and then getting it cranked up for next year.
Any truth to the rumor that you did upgrade your equipment to Confidence? Or downgrade, however?
My golf equipment?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I did get a stealth, a nice tailor-made stealth driver, which I highly recommend, by the way.
But no Confidence.
That baby goes.
Oh, not go with Confidence.
Oh no, no, the Confidence, no. I think your Confidence Club should be put on the shelf.
They have been. Yes, they are. They're in the PSC Hall of Fame. All right, well, Coach, thank you very much, and good luck.